Hey guys, it's Christy and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to be sharing my top 5 drugstore makeup purchases of the year so far. So before we get into it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's get into it. Okay, so looking at all of my drugstore makeup purchases so far this year, I feel kind of guilty because I realized I've really been gearing a little bit more high-end this year. It's been completely unintentional. Part of that is also that I am based in Canada, so brand new drugstore releases are so much slower to come here, so that does kind of put me behind a little bit. But I have tried some amazing drugstore items, so today I thought I would share my top 5 choices. I'm going to start with the e.l.f. Whoa Glow. So this one I actually got when I did travel south a little bit and I made it to an Ulta, and I absolutely love this one. This is my favorite sunscreen. I love this. I have very dry skin. I love when my skin looks healthy and glowy, and this really does do that. This is such a beautiful sunscreen. And this is great whether you are wearing it under makeup or just wearing it alone. I just really like it. It just makes the skin look so healthy and luminous, while also giving solid protection. So I really do enjoy this. I think this is a wonderful product. This is worth the travel across the border in my opinion. I would absolutely grab this again once I run out of it. Next is a product that I mentioned very recently. This is from Winky Lux, and this is their waterproof lip liner in the shade Pippi. So I do have this one on today, and the thing that is special about this lip liner, first of all, I will say their shade range, from what I could see in store, is not great, but this lip liner is budge proof. So like I said, I have this one on today and I will probably have it on till I go to bed. This is just a quick swatch of Pippi. So it's a very rosy shade. I actually have it paired with the new Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Lip Blur in Pillow Talk. They look great together. I love this lip liner. This one got my attention initially because when I was in store, I swatched it on the back of my hand, and when I got home, I realized that I still had the swatch on. I was rubbing at it, it wasn't moving. I washed my hands, it still wasn't moving. I took a shower and it was still on there, so I ended up having to use my cleansing balm at the end of the night to get this off my hand. That is what made me return to the store just to buy this, because I was so impressed with that longevity, and it has not disappointed me. This is a retractable pencil, so there is that. You really won't be able to sharpen it, but the packaging is really pretty, and again, it is budge proof. So I absolutely 100% recommend the Winky Lux lip liners. I think they are terribly underrated, so I can't recommend these enough. Let's hop into a powder foundation that I have been living by this year, and this is the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour hybrid powder foundation. So this one is not one that I actually use as an all-over foundation really. It's an incredible product. So again, I have dry skin, so typically I'm not reaching for a powder foundation for all over the face. If I were, this would be the one I would reach for because I think I could get away with it with this one. Where this one really impresses me is when I've already got a foundation on and perhaps the coverage isn't quite what I want it to be. This will step in and get it done. I actually took this on vacation with me at one point, and there was a couple of days, travel days, where I wanted to look a little bit more pulled together, but I didn't want to do a full face. I didn't want heavy foundation everywhere. So I literally just concealed the areas that needed concealing, and then I threw a little bit of this on with a brush just to kind of even things out, and it was perfect. It was all I needed, and it just made me feel so much more put together. So good. I absolutely love this. So I cannot recommend this enough if you have dry skin and you're looking for a powder foundation, perhaps just to add coverage. I would absolutely recommend this one from Maybelline. I have such a dip in this product already, and this is one that when I do run out of it, I will 100% repurchase. I don't even have any high-end powder foundations in my collection that I would repurchase, but I would 100% repurchase this. This is so fabulous. And I do have the shade 102. So if you're a skin tone match to me, that is my shade. Okay, next I wanted to mention the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Foundation. I have the shade 1N Ivory. I love this. This one is definitely a very medium coverage foundation. This is not a new formula. Well, it is kind of. They've had this foundation for a while, but they recently reformulated, added hyaluronic acid, and threw a pump on the bottle. We absolutely love this. So this is sort of like my next in line from my NARS foundation, my beloved NARS foundation that I love so much. Nothing compares to the NARS. I will say that right now. Nothing matches up. But this one gives a very similar coverage level, definitely a very nice medium coverage. Doesn't look too heavy, it doesn't feel heavy, it never gets cakey. It's not too glowy, but it's not too matte. Again, it just evens out the skin, pulls everything together, gives a bit of coverage, and looks great all day long. I've been loving this one. My NARS foundation is actually getting really low, so I've been reaching for this one instead of that one, just to kind of delay the moment when I have to repurchase my NARS, because I 100% will. But this is the one I've been reaching for when I want to save that one. So I think that says a lot for this foundation. This is such a great formula. I've been enjoying it so much, and I absolutely recommend if you have normal to dry skin. I obviously can't speak to the oily skin types, but definitely wonderful for normal to dry. And the last product I absolutely have to mention today is the Milani Gilded Mini Eyeshadow Palette in Whiskey Business. I say this every time, but it bears repeating. I am very picky with drugstore eyeshadow formulas. I just don't think a lot of them have caught up yet the way all of the other categories have. But there are some formulas that I think deserve so much credit because they're absolutely amazing. And in the past, I haven't loved Milani eyeshadows, but these are so good. So this one is supposed to be kind of like a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Super Nudes. I used to really want the Super Nudes, and then I got this one and I no longer want it. I think that speaks for itself. This has done its job. I absolutely love this. Again, this is just a boring matte brown eyeshadow palette. So boring, but such a staple. On swatching these, they are pretty smooth. They're not as smooth as some other formulas, but on the eyes, they perform like any other high-end matte eyeshadow. They are so good. They're so blendable. They work together so beautifully. They'll last all day. I love this. And the look always looks phenomenal because it's all neutral browns. So I have been absolutely loving this one. I have mentioned this one so many times. I can tell you right now, this is going to be making it very high in my year-end eyeshadow palette ranking. I can tell you right now. It's going to be pretty high, but I absolutely love this one. And that is it. Those are my top 5 drugstore makeup purchases so far this year. Let me know down below what your favorite drugstore products are at the moment. I love hearing from you guys so much. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do upload at least 3 new videos every single week. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!